this story came through on my newsroom app on my phone, and when I found out about it, I was actually on my way out the door on my way to work, and I said I cannot wait till I get off to talk about this story because I have more questions that need answers. I have a lot of questions that need to be answered because this story right here is unlike any I've heard of and spoken of on my channel before. And this is, I know we always say that we're not surprised by some things but like a lot of stories that I do, but this one might take you, like, make you raise your eyebrows and make you have to sit down and just ponder for a second. How was this even possible? So this man's name is sorry for the interruption, but anyway, this man's name is Bill Timmons, and he was the CEO of a place called Hacienda Healthcare in Arizona. And he recently resigned from his position because one of his patients ended up in a very interesting position. The patient ended up becoming pregnant. Now you're probably wondering, how in the world is that even possible for someone who's a healthcare patient? But that's not the only thing that is very weird about this story. Not only was this person a patient at his healthcare facility, this person was in a vegetable state. That means this person was practically only alive by machines. So you're wondering, how is this person who was in a vegetable state, who cannot function on their own except with the help of a machine, end up pregnant? And it's like a whole bunch of things just happen to bounce off the walls, off all cylinders, and so many questions begin to raise. So I'm going to go ahead and read this article. It says, days after a woman in a vegetative state gave birth in a nursing home, prompting a sexual assault investigation, the CEO of the corporation that runs the nursing home has resigned. The company Hacienda Healthcare said that the board unanimously accepted CEO Bill Timmons' resignation. Gary Orman, the executive vice president of the company's board, said the company would accept nothing less than a full accounting of this absolutely horrifying situation, an unprecedented case that has devastated everyone involved, from the victim and her family to Hacienda staff at every level of our organization. The woman, who's been in a vegetative state for more than a decade, gave birth over a week ago, prompting authorities to investigate what looks like a case of sexual assault at the Arizona nursing facility. According to KPHO-TV, a Phoenix CBS subsidiary, the woman in question became a longtime patient at Hacienda Healthcare after a near-drowning incident that occurred about 14 years ago. On December 29th, she gave birth to a baby boy who the outlet's anonymous source believes seems to be alive and well. Although caretakers reportedly monitored the woman 24/7, they seemed not to have noticed anything out of the ordinary before she went into labor. None of the staff were aware that she was pregnant until she was pretty much giving birth. From what I've been told, she was moaning, and they didn't know what was wrong with her. A nurse was apparently on hand to deliver the baby, but the alleged months-long oversight does suggest negligence. KPHO's source stated that given the high level of care the patient's condition requires, a lot of people had access to her room. When asked if the patient would have had any way to defend herself, the source responded, no, none whatsoever, not even able to communicate the fact that she was pregnant. Without spelling out exactly how it came to possess this information, KPHO says it knows that at some point last spring or summer, someone sexually assaulted a woman who was in a persistent vegetative state, and she became pregnant. Authorities have reportedly remained tight-lipped about the case, but given the circumstances, sex abuse would seem the most logical conclusion. Adult Protective Services reportedly undertook an immediate well-being check on the facility's other patients. Hacienda Healthcare did not immediately respond to the cut's request for comment, but in a statement to KPHO said it could not comment on an ongoing investigation. Still, Hacienda touted its outstanding reputation providing high-quality specialized care and emphasized its commitment to cooperating with police. The Arizona Department of Health said it was working with law enforcement agencies and had launched an on-site complaint investigation, while ensuring that the facility heightened security. According to KPHO's source, as of now, if a male staff needs to enter a female room, they need to bring in a female employee with them. I want to assure our patients, their loved ones, our community partners, the agencies we do business with, Governor Ducey, and the residents of Arizona, we will continue to cooperate with the Phoenix police and the investigating agencies at all levels in every way possible, Orman said in a statement to the New York Times. and we will do everything in our power to ensure the safety of every single one of our patients and our employees. Now, one of my questions that I have that is very glaring, which person on the staff actually impregnated this woman? Because even though I have a picture of the CEO who has stepped down, the article didn't specify that he was the one that actually did it. He most likely did it because it happened at his facility and he knew he would catch all slings and arrows, and he figured by him stepping down, it would be a way to guard himself from catching all that backlash. So it's not necessary that he did it, but I'm not going to rule him out as a person who was not responsible either. So they need to find out who on that staff did that. That means they would need to take that child and get a DNA test done on every male staffer that works there. Every last one of them who works there. It doesn't matter what the age is, because sperm will travel. So that's what they need to do. And if they have to do a DNA test on him too, hey, so be it. Because whoever did that, they need to be locked the hell up. That's beyond crazy. Like, you have people who are sexually assaulting kids. You have people who sexually assault people who are grown. But it's one thing. It is one thing when you sexually assault a person who is in a state where they do not know where they are, and they are hooked up to machines to keep them alive, and they have not moved in over a decade. And the craziest part is they said that this person got pregnant and didn't even know they were pregnant, and they had to give birth and probably didn't even know they were giving birth. Like, that is some sick stuff when you think about it, when you really process everything that this article just told you. So they, like I said, they need to give a DNA test to every man on that staff. Do not let any male person on that staff leave. Anyone who was there within the last year of her getting pregnant, they need to make sure that they take a DNA test and see who the father is. You know, stuff like this happens all the time. And it reminds me of, if y'all remember that movie Kill Bill, the first one, volume 1, it was a scene where the main character, played by Uma Thurman, was inside in a coma for all those years because she got shot in the head. And one of the guys came in, one of the staffers had let one of his friends come in and basically try to have his way with her while she was in a state. Of course, at that time, she was already awake, but she was pretending like she was asleep. This kind of stuff happens a lot, where you'll have people who are patients at hospitals, and they're under some kind of sedation, and they'll get sexually assaulted, and they don't know that they were sexually assaulted, because that sedation is real. Once they put that anesthesia in you, or if you are like in a coma where you cannot have any ability to move your body, you'll be amazed at what people will do. That's why a lot of hospital facilities now have hooked up cameras inside the rooms, because you don't know what these doctors and these nurses are capable of doing. They have some sick people working in the healthcare industry. So this story right here doesn't really surprise me, but it is a very sick and sadistic story nonetheless. And whoever is the one that did this to this person, they need to be castrated publicly. Y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. The links will be in the description. I will talk to you in the next one.